pull the trigger, down. Okay, but this has got to come out before step comes down. Okay. This is set up as, essentially it's set up as a maxi taxi. Okay, set up for 2 wheelchairs. We've got 2 side folding seats here and a rear facing triple seat there. When you're putting 2 wheelchairs in, both these seats need to be folded up and you're not going to be able to use any of those 3 rear facing seats. Okay, and you'll soon see why. To work these side folding seats, they both work the same way. All right, to fold the seat up, we'll use this one. Red handle here, push it down, that will collapse. And there's a foot release here, okay? You can either do what I'm doing, use your hand, or you can use your feet as well, whichever's easier, okay? Push it up, okay? Voila, we've now got room, well, as much room as possible to secure the 2 wheelchairs up. Then we've got a little trigger here. Lady with the camera, right? Take one hand, grab the sort of the weight of the seat there, push that trigger, bring it down. Don't have to slam it, just there, handle here. So just reversing what we've already done. Okay, it is a 2 or 3 step process. Out permanently, because it's got to always have an aisle space here. Okay, if someone's sitting in there, the thought process is that door's shut and we don't need an aisle. So that's going to always flip up. It's not broken, or these 2 aren't broken, that one's not broken, it's just how it is. Okay, seats are all in vinyl, obviously for continence reasons. Okay, the 2 foot plates, I've mentioned that, don't have to foot over it. Step in that we've done. Okay, so obviously having these, if you're taking 2 wheelchairs out, or 1, have these folded up and out of the way before you go bringing a chair in. Having been prepared and knowing who's coming on the outing and what's going on is important. If you're taking 2 chairs, well, straight away fold these 2 up before you go and get the resis, all right? But if you're just taking 1 chair, you can still fold that one down. Okay, so you've got sort of, 1 wheelchair, and you've got all of a sudden 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other seats available, and 2 up the front. It's rated to 350 kilos, which I don't think you're going to have anyone heavier than that. It's a combined weight of wheelchair and occupant. Okay? If the wheelchair doesn't fit on that platform, it's not designed to come out in this vehicle. Ring an ambulance or one of the patient transport vehicles. All right? This is designed for wheelchairs that will fit on the platform. Okay?
Yep, no worries. When I get back, I'll go.
Doesn't need to be running for this to operate. Okay, it draws a minimal amount of power from the battery. So we have an isolation key, which is here, which is a fancy term for the on and off button. Okay, so turn it on. We'll know it's on when the lights start flashing. Okay, make sure you clear the deck. Make sure you're also deploying this on flat ground. It's not going to deploy on an angle, on a hill. And you're not really ideally wanting to bring people into a vehicle like this on an angle anyway, because you can slip and fall over and run out of steam as you bring it up. So, out in the community, go for somewhere with flat ground, all right? 4 buttons on this. We've got fold and unfold, up and down, okay? And as we were just talking about before, don't just hit the unfold button for it to release, hit the fold button and take it to the top of its cycle, because what will happen when these sit around, the platform naturally creeps back to earth, okay? And it will get stuck on that safety catch. And what that does is, if you open the tailgate and something's happened, this isn't going to fall out and hit you on the head. Okay, that latch is going to stop it. So if you do turn it on and hit unfold, it's not going to come out and you'll think it's broken. So get into the habit of going fold, top of its cycle, then unfold. Okay? As you keep pressure on the unfold button, it's going to deploy, hopefully. So then you want to bring it down. Okay, so we've got down and up here. Okay, gravity's doing its thing at the moment. The electric motor kicks in when we hit up and fold. Okay. Again, those white wheels are going to hit flat ground and hopefully deploy the flaps a bit low. Okay. Then we're ready to bring our wheelchair on. Okay. We'll just try and remember to turn it off, because if it does drain the battery, it's a real pain in the butt for everyone to get the car going and to get this working. But there is a manual override system, which I'll probably show you, Dave, in an emergency. you've got someone in there, you're trapped somewhere and you can't get them out, there is a way to deploy the platform without using what's going on here. Okay? So you bring it out. We'll get ready to bring Nancy in. Use pop in there. So there should be 8 of these in there, like I said, and 2 lap belts, a male and a female. Okay, which we'll run through in a minute. There should also be a key, I hope, on the car keys, mate, to lock that as well if you need to. All right. So, have you guys all used these before?
Yeah.
Have you, any of you guys taken a wheelchair person out before, or are we really starting from scratch here? Yeah.
Except one.
All right. So, like I said, there's no front, back, left or right. They're all the same. They all work the same. They're not complicated. They may look it, but it's not. You'll see it's got 4 tracking here. You've got a track there. You've got 2 in the centre, and you've got 1 up the front. That's where these lock into. But they do have to be locked into certain positions in the tracking for this to all function correctly and in accordance with regulatory compliance, because we've got these 2 sash belts as well, okay, which are regulatory now too. It didn't used to be. You could just pop a lap belt on a wheelchair occupant, that was enough, but not anymore. Okay? So, a couple of things before you bring the chair in. 2 things, in fact. Have identified on the wheelchair where these hooks are going to be aiming for before you bring the wheelchair and the occupant in, because there's no point bringing a wheelchair in, you're already under pressure, there's plenty of things going on, and you're trying to work out how this fits into the floor and whereabouts on the wheelchair you're hooking this onto. Because unlike Nancy here, there are bigger chairs, there are bigger elderly people with bigger legs and long legs. So you don't want to be fiddling around trying to work out where this is going to be aiming for when it's in the vehicle. So have that identified on the chair, outside of the vehicle, even in the facility, have a bit of a look, see where you're aiming for these before you start. Typically the power chairs, the electric chairs, you may have seen them, they've got the eyelets on them. So they've already got distinguished points where these are going to be locking onto. If you have a look at a chair later, have a look at the power chairs. They've already got the little, they're like a little chrome circle like that, all right, that are welded to the frame. Unlike these don't have that, all right? So what we're going to be aiming for this hook when we bring Nancy in is not on the foot plates, not on the wheels, not on the armrest or the seat or the cross bearers, anywhere like that. We're aiming for a solid part of the wheelchair structure where there's a weld, okay? So I'm looking at there, down there if it'll fit, okay? It's either going to be there or there, okay? On this side, again, not here, not on the wheels, not here, not there, here, where there's a weld and a structure in the frame, or there. I would say we're going to be aiming for here, okay? On the back, similar, not on the wheels, okay? Back's pretty easy, it's going to be there, there, and there. Up. So that's identified, so we're already 1 step ahead, okay? We already know where we're aiming for when we bring Nancy in, all right? Not up here or there or here, just remember that. Power chair, turn it off as well,
Yeah.
okay? Brakes on, power chair off. And I'm still... And then just drop the bottom in, slide it over. Okay? By pushing on that red tab, that releases the belt out of the retractor housing to then lock on to the point of the chair that we've already identified. Okay? And then to release it, you push down on it to get it out. And then over. Just a stainless steel clasp, which is going to be hooking on to the back of the retractor housing where there's a little bit of a nipple type thing there you can see, okay? Just apply a little bit of pressure and it will hook in, okay? that goes around, and we want it to end up around about on Nancy's hip bone area here. Just like you think if you're getting into your own car overnight time, bang, that's what you're aiming for. This setup here, we're doing the same thing. But for demo purposes, I'm just going to keep it extended out long. If you hang on to it there, Nancy. The male one, your name actually isn't Nancy, is it? The male one, it goes on the same way, all right? The metal clasp. One here. All right. Because even the RACV guy probably won't know how to do this, all right? And you can literally take it all the way.